Hi everyone, it's Colin from Edenwood, and I'm taking this opportunity before we start today's video to show you an example of one of our reclaimed tables. This is flooring from the Studebaker factory in Hamilton. If you Google it, you'll find that the factory was built back in the mid-1800s and was torn down a few years ago, and we were able to salvage some of the wood from the floor that measured out to about 2.5 inches thick. So this is typically what a table looks like when we put it together. You can see some of the details here. These are all marks that happened over 150 years of manufacturing in the Studebaker factory. Often what we do with tables like this is we epoxy fill some of the deeper cracks or holes, and you can see an example of that there. And then we'll stain it, or sometimes we'll just leave it the natural color. But I thought it'd be a nice little intro to start today's project. What we've got in store for you is a fun little thing. And again, with all our videos, what we're hoping is that we can inspire you to pick up your tools on a Saturday or a Sunday and spend a couple hours on a small job and repurpose something and make something cool that you can use around your house. And there's nothing better than having something in your home that has a story behind it. So please enjoy, and we always like to hear from our customers and hear from the people that watch our videos. So we encourage you to email us or drop us a line and let us know how you feel. All right, so enjoy. All right, we're back at Habitat today, and we're digging through their door section. They've got quite a selection of doors here, and what we're looking at doing here is we've just been looking at the doors, trying to figure out what'll work for what, and we came across this. This is a bifold. You can see here, it's a bifold door with some nice detail in it. It's still got some of the hardware, and best of all, it's the right price. It's down here for $10. So I think we're going to go ahead with this one today, and we're going to take it back to the shop, and you're going to see what cool things we do with it. We've got a really cool idea on how to turn this into something really funky. So let's see how we do. All right, we're back at the shop. We've brought our bifold doors in, and we're going to put this together really quickly. So if you haven't figured out what we're going to use these for, let me give you a couple of key details here first, and then you can see if you can guess along with me before I tell you. Here's our measurements. We're 78 3/4 long, 11 3/4 wide each door, and 1 3/8 thick. We've got a couple of nice details. The bottom one is squared off at both ends, and the top one has a nice curve to it and is squared off at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly put together a shelving unit with a base on it and a top on it and a back on it. We're going to throw some shelves in it, and we're going to use these as the side panels. And we're going to show you how easy it is and how inexpensive it is for you to do this at home just by picking up a couple of things at your local Habitat or anywhere else that sells repurposed stuff. Or maybe you've got a set of these lying around in the basement. This is an easy one. It's going to look really cool. It'd be great for a kid's room, for a bookshelf, or anything else that you want to use it for, even in a basement, laundry room, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start taking the brackets off and take some of the hardware out. We've got some pins here at the bottom that need to get dealt with. We'll have some holes that need to get filled in that we can do later. And then we'll start building our box and putting our shelves in. This one's going to go together really quickly. All right. All right, so as you can see, we've got it all stripped down. We've got all the hardware out. Took the brackets off, the hinges off. We've got some holes to deal with. We had some details on the bottom with some holes. We may not even have to fill those. So we're all ready to go. At this point you can sand and give it a rough sand to take out some of these holes, but I don't think we have any need to do that right now. We can do that all later. What we're putting together is pretty simple. So on to the next step. We're going to cut some pieces to put together our bookshelf. Alright, so what we did was we cut ourselves some long strips on our table saw here. We got some MDF, some stuff we had left over from our last job. We cut ourselves some long pieces, roughly 4 inches wide. And then we sat our doors up here in the position that we want to have them when we put this together. Cut these down to smaller pieces with some squares for the top and the bottom. And we built ourselves a small box, 4-sided with a bottom. So we're going to go ahead and put the other box together with these pieces and put it on the top and bottom, and then we'll have our unit together, and then we can go out and trim it out, paint it, and we'll be all done. Alright, we've got our bottom on, our little box that we made, and we've screwed it in from the front and in the back. And then we've done the same at this end. We've got a top on it, towed it in, pre-drilled everything, and now all we got to do is trim it out, throw some shelves in it, and you can see the detail down the side now. Kind of giving you an idea what it's going to look like before I stand it up, but it's coming along nicely. So, and trust me, this is very easy. We've got about 15 minutes in this so far, so this is something you can do at home, no problem. All right, we went through our scrap pile, and we found ourselves 3 little, 3-4 foot pieces of trim here. This one's kind of handmade. It's kind of cool. It looks like someone made it on a router by hand. This is a leftover piece of scrap that we had, and here's another little piece here that's a trim detail. We save a lot of these things for jobs like this because they come in handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to nail this one on top of here like this. There you go, you get an idea. And then we're going to put this one on that end like that. And then when you see, once it's cut and fitted and put on the bottom here, we get a nice little base detail to put on the bottom. It gives you some step, gives you some 3-dimension, which is going to help stabilize this unit standing up. And it's going to look really nice, and really it's going to not cost much at all because we basically used some pieces that were headed for the trash. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we've got our base on now, and as you can see, we've trimmed it out all the way around. Came out quite nice. We've put some cross supports in the back of our piece. 3 of them, 2 at the top, 1 at the top, bottom, and 1 in the middle. And you can tell by when I get around the side here to our side view how the doors have given us that nice detail down the side. So we've got to finish off our top section here. We're going to trim it out a little bit more. We're going to put our shelves in really quickly, and we'll be all done. But it's starting to come together, and at least it's standing now. So we're getting there. All right, well, we've laid our unit back down, and as you can see, we finished the top off. We kind of doubled up 2 bits of trim and gave it a nice look. And then we put that rope detail down both sides of the face, just to dress it up a little bit. And that kind of gives you an idea. That's the top looking down on where we're at right now. So all we've got to do is cut some shelves. We're going to fasten them in, put a back on it, ready for painting, and we're all done. All right, as you can see, we took some trim and we made a couple of supports, cut ourselves a shelf. We used some MDF with a bullnose on the end. Cut them to fit the inside, and there, just let me step back here. And it's tall, so you got to get it in the shot. But there you go. There's our entire little bookcase. Bookcase, knick-knack case, would be really cute in the corner of a room, or for whatever it is that you want to do with it. I think considering that we basically built it out of the scrap that we had lying around the shop, we got some nice detail on the side with our doors, and we just threw some leftover trim on it, and it came out really nice. So we're quite happy with it. We really didn't invest anything money-wise, and this is something you could easily do yourself on a Sunday afternoon. Took us a couple of hours. Obviously, we need to fill in some of the holes. I think we've got one on this side from the handle and from the brackets. Fill them, sand them, coat a primer, and then basically finish it any way you want. Would look really nice in chalk paint or just done in white. But anyway, there it is. That's how easy it was. I hope what we've shown you today has helped you in coming up with maybe even a better idea on how you can utilize old doors to build other things for your home. Anyway, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you guys watching, and look for more videos later with a couple. We've got some really cool things on the go. So I think you're going to be really excited. All right, so for now, take it easy, and we'll see you soon.